A few weeks ago, we discussed Rian Johnson, writer-director of The Last Jedi, pointing to Legends source material to further explain the Force ability used by Luke at the end of the film. More specifically, he pointed to the Doppelganger Advanced Force technique found within the Jedi Path, which was a Force ability that allowed a Jedi to create a temporary duplicate of themselves that was visually indistinguishable from their true form. The Jedi, as seen with Luke in Episode 8, could then project that duplicated phantom across the galaxy. But in Legends, the Jedi weren't the only ones who could successfully perform an ability like this, as the Sith also had a way in which to project phantoms, not only of themselves but also of others, across the galaxy using the Force. In this video expose, I will describe the dark side version of Luke's Force projection ability seen in The Last Jedi. Known as Force Phantoms, the Sith were able to utilize a complex ritual to create realistic, lifelike specters and then project them across the vast expanse of the galaxy. The ability, although very similar to the Jedi Doppelganger Force ability in result, was much more complex. Instead of simply using the Force to establish the creation of a lifelike phantom, this dark side version required the Sith Lord to siphon the Force energy from another life form. This was an extremely complicated process that separated the Force Phantom ability from the Doppelganger technique. The Darksider had to first search out through the Force for an unsuspecting target, who would then be used as an anchor to create the Phantom. Using the Force, the Darksider would then surround their target with their own aura, who they would then affix themselves to. Once this process was completed, the ritual required the Darksider to attach their aura to the mind of their target and begin to drain the life energy from them. Once they started to drain the life energy from their target, the Darksider would then use this energy and give it a physical, tangible form in the real world, which could then be shaped into whatever likeness the Darksider desired. Depending on their goals, the likeness could be of the Darksider themselves, another person who already existed, or a unique likeness altogether. At this point, the creator of the Force Phantom could then project this form anywhere in the galaxy that they wanted. As one might conclude from the previous discussion, although the technique was extremely powerful and effective, the process of creating a Force Phantom was an exhausting one, and this was the #1 limitation of the ability. Although the Darksider would drain the life essence of another being, this did nothing to reduce the energy required by the Darksider to perform the ability, nor could the life energy of the target be used to replenish their own Force reserves. The ability would be even more taxing if the projection was made to travel greater distances across the galaxy. Therefore, because the Force Phantom technique was exceedingly depleting in its nature and pushed the Darksider to its limit, the user was required to gather significant amounts of Force energy in which to keep in reserve, or benefit from the use of reservoirs of Darkside energy found throughout the galaxy before attempting the ritual. But if the Sith Lord could successfully complete the ritual, they would benefit in being able to use the ability to carry out successful espionage, communication, or simple harassment missions against their enemy. Although they could be detected by various scanners or by Jedi trained in the Force, many Jedi mistook the Phantoms for Force ghosts, adding to the confusion that the ability generated. The Force Phantom ability was not developed or known by the ancient Sith. In fact, it was a technique invented by a Dark Lord named Darth Vectivus, a Sith within the lineage of Darth Bane's Order of the Sith Lords. He benefited in the development of this ability by constructing his lair over a nexus of Darkside energy, allowing him to feed off its power when attempting the grueling ritual. However, although Vectivus was able to perfect the technique, succeeding Sith Lords did not acquire the knowledge of the Force Phantom ability. In fact, by the time of the reign of Darth Plagueis and Darth Sidious, knowledge of the ritual was believed to have been lost. It wasn't until the rise of the Dark Lady of the Sith, Lumaya, that the Force Phantom ability was rediscovered, roughly 40 years after the death of Sidious. This was a result of the Dark Lady taking up residence within Darth Vectivus's former lair. Having discovered the ability from the spirit of Vectivus himself, Lumaya used the ability to significant success, using it to torment the fleet of the Galactic Alliance and to even confuse Jedi Master Luke Skywalker himself. So there we have it, the dark side version of Luke's Force projection ability, known as Force Phantom. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions? Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. Or perhaps follow us on Twitter at SW Reading Club for updates regarding the channel. Or support the channel through Patreon for access to exclusive hangouts and book discussions. If not for me... for Darth Vectivus.